Yes, if you think that these bills kind of look similar to each other, they do. What Congress does is they write a bill. They probably watching Rocky and Bullwinkle. They get an idea and they write a bill and say, "Oh my gosh, we gotta, we gotta save Bullwinkle from himself. So we're gonna not let him fly anymore, or star in any more cartoons. We gotta save Bullwinkle from himself." So they go on their computer, or paper, or in a dictaphone and start writing all these laws down. And do you think they ever stop and say, "I wonder if that's unconstitutional"? Well, your answer is no. They never think that because their self-importance is so important that all that matters is themselves. Here we have yet another SAFER Act. This one's the SAFER Act now. Really, those people with transportation and the militia, the NRA, people that want to see their kids grow up in a free country as it was meant to be according to the Constitution, you all better stand up now. But this gets me. A semi-automatic pistol. Let's see, the Constitution says shall not be infringed. The reason why it just has that one line, shall not be infringed. So there wasn't any mistake or room for interpretation of anything else. And once again, why lawyers that are supposed to be for gun rights don't drive that point home, I'll never know. Well, I have a guess. It's because, they need their career. And that's another thing that's terribly wrong with the whole Washington thing in American politics. It's worse than high school and the sandbox. If you don't agree, it's so unconstitutional. It's such a dictatorship. If you do not agree with the senators and the Congress, then there's something wrong with you. Or they're going to take your money, or they're going to give you a hard time. It's just like what they do in Congress with each other fighting. Oh, you don't agree with us? Fine. We won't give you money for a wall. Well, you don't give me a wall? I'm going to shut the government down. Then everybody whines at each other, pointing fingers. Everybody has to be sick of that, right? And we have the power to impeach them all. All we need is the church, a militia, 2 witnesses, and we just have our court session in a church with the militia, and it's a legal church. It's a legal church. It's a legal procedure, and I'm sure we have 2 witnesses. Probably don't really need one for the sake of the Constitution. We need 2 witnesses. But we have the paperwork right in front of us how unconstitutional they are. And this being so unconstitutional, the demonic rats and the Republicans is a treasonous act, and they are a national security risk to this country. And we see it every day. They are just putting this country and Americans in danger, and we must call for their resignation immediately. This one gets me right here. This shotgun thing. That used to be like my favorite. I know this is going to sound weird, but it was like my favorite big gun. A semi-automatic shotgun. that has any of the following. I mean, these are the ones that are bad. They're bad. If I didn't make the point before, because the other day I was really, really sick and I just had to put up a couple of videos without narration. But my point is, and here's another confusing thing. Weapons, guns, ammunition, it's all the sole purpose of these instruments is to assault. So understand where Congress is going when they're banning assault weapons. They're all assault weapons. So eventually they're going to ban them all because you let them get away with banning the assault weapons. And now they're banning the AR, all the AR models, even the rifles. Anyways, a folding telescope or detachable stock, a pistol grip, a magazine with 5 rounds. I mean, these people are just shall not be infringed. Okay, this has to be my last video because for now, and we'll get, there's probably about another 30 of these. I mean, Congress has been very busy writing anti-gun laws. Take away your gun laws. Take away your free speech laws. Okay, here's all the types that are bad weapons. These are bad weapons. Bad. Yeah, the AK-47 thing, that was just, that was a horrible thing Obama did. But anyways, he did a lot of horrible things. I think the other bill that I put in there, assault weapons ban, they banned everything. And actually, my channel told everybody this was happening last year. What is happening, and it's still happening, is the ADL and the Southern Poverty Law Center go around to each governor and get them to pass laws on a state level. But the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. So this making it against the law to speak the truth about Israel and their daily blood spilling for their God ball and stealing land and taking our money, and well, everybody knows the horror that they do through the mini Draco. Is all unconstitutional. Just because a state passes those laws doesn't make them a law that is a legitimate law. Daggone it. That just pissed me off because I don't have to do this video again. Alright, in any event, the point is that all of these laws are getting closer and closer to mirror Israeli laws. Taking away guns, and people have been talking about it for years, but what really surprises me is how the militia, gun rights activists, by far and large, just fold it over. Just fold over. That's it. They do nothing, they just fold over. Instead of banding together and pulling resources and fighting the monster in Washington. Washington, D.C., demonic central, where they eat your children, think of ways to take your children, take your guns, and take your life. It's time to take everything back, people. It's time to get off your ass, loosen up those fingers, and start tweeting. I mean, geez. All you have to do is tweet. restrictions on assault weapons. They're all assault weapons, you moron. Oh yeah. What gets me too? It's in these unconstitutional laws they're trying to pass. They're citing the Constitution gives them the right to take away your guns. I mean, have they gone off the deep end or what? Of course they have. They're madmen and they're man women. You're going to take your guns away and go over there and blow up Venezuela and kill a bunch of civilians, and then they're going to pat themselves on their back because they're going to build another Rothschild bank. If people haven't realized, that's all the U.S. military does. A lot of people say, "Oh, you got to be proud of your military," and blah blah. Why? They're a disgrace. They're an absolute disgrace to go over there and kill people because they're told to, not because they're an enemy. It's because they're told to, so we as in our U.S. Inc. Can just go ahead and put up a Rothschild bank. I mean, if you don't believe me, go ahead and check every country we've ever been in. We put up a Rothschild bank. So I don't know how anybody could think any differently of any president that gets in office. They're all the same. They're all working for the Rothschilds. Instead of arresting the Rothschilds, they're arresting the Rockefellers, they're arresting the Gates and DuPonts and the like of those demons. No, they'll just, instead of doing that, they'll just go out and kill a few million people and build a bank. Anyways, I'm way off the subject of these gun grabs. All in the name of the children. We gotta take your guns to protect you from yourself. Look at the rifles. Boy, yes, that's nice. Rifles! I wonder what the rifleman would say if he were here today. Hello, little partner. Oh, that's John Wayne. And kind of a bad John Wayne. Well, anyways, these are all the models. And I'm going to go through this pretty fast. I didn't realize this was 142 pages. When I did this is going to be my last one. I was trying to catch up from being stuffed up. Look at that 18 something 76 rifle. I'd like to have one of those. Anyways, I didn't realize this one was that long, and I have a full day, and I actually haven't got any sleep today, so I have to take a quick nap after this. And there are so many more of these. This is what gets me. But Assassinate Evil's right. The documents that he has put up many times. It just seems if people aren't narrating them or talking or something, people just don't have any interest, even if it would save their lives. And that's another sad thing about people. They don't want to take a chance at looking at something that their eyes and their brain might have to do a lot of work to understand. Oh, Jesus, I'm on page 41. I better hurry up. And you can always stop this because, to read it. But it should stay in focus this way. I got those kinks worked out. And there's a stack more papers that Assassinated Evil has to check with some attorneys to make sure that we're able to publish them, which looks more than likely that we will. But there's just so much to catch up on. Y'all are so far behind. And let me